Hi, my name's Jasmine, and my presentation is going to be about applying positive psychology to overcoming trauma from domestic violence. I'm going to go over what positive psychology is and what concepts I applied to my personal life to help me in my journey as I'm recovering from domestic violence. And I'm going to talk about character strengths, mindfulness, and self-care, and the strength-based approach and the broaden and build theory in this presentation. So thankfully today there is more awareness of what domestic violence is and intimate partner violence, but a few statistics, 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. It's a way for someone to control and exert power over another person, and it damages that person. It damages your self-esteem. It leads to a lot of psychological issues, and it really just damages the health and well-being of the people involved, the children, the men, the women, whoever's involved in this, and it impacts all different people. So yeah, that's a little bit about domestic violence statistics. October is Domestic Violence Awareness. The purple ribbon, if you've ever seen it, represents courage, survival, honor, and dedication to ending domestic violence. Learning about positive psychology has helped me in many ways, which is what this presentation is going to be about. So my name is Jasmine. I'm 36 and I have 4 beautiful daughters. I grew up around domestic violence and abuse since I was 5 years old. I repeated the patterns that I had seen in growing up in my last 2 relationships. Each of them lasted 9 years. One was emotionally abusive and very confusing because I was a teenager at the time and just very young and didn't know what was happening. The second one was very different because it felt very loving, but yet it was manipulative, physically abusive, emotionally abusive, and destructive to my mental and physical health. So I learned about domestic violence and left March 2023. My biggest fear going on my own and leaving was how am I going to survive with my 4 children? So what is positive psychology? Positive psychology is a science. It's been around for a long time, but it aims to not just look at the issues we face, but instead reflect on what is good in life and what leads people to leading fulfilling, satisfying lives. I like this quote from Bahali. In human behavior, what is most intriguing is not the average, but the improbable. So people like to look at other people's resilience and strength in the face of adversity. We love stories about how someone overcame something tragic and what we can learn from that. Positive emotions deal with optimism, self-efficiency, and hardiness. So optimism is being, a bright outlook on your future, thinking good things about it. Self-efficiency is believing in your ability to carry out actions that produce desired outcomes. And hardiness is a personality style that helps a person cope, withstand, and actively engage in transformational coping when faced with stressful events. As you can imagine, it's very highly stressful to be in a negative, toxic relationship, especially if you add abuse to the mix. I was having constant panic attacks. My body was actually in so much pain when I was trying to leave that I went to the hospital and they couldn't find anything physically wrong with me. They gave me morphine and anti-reflux medicine and said that maybe I had like acid reflux and possibly ulcers. Actually, when I left, all that pain and the panic attacks instantly went away. Probably the hardest thing for me was discovering how quiet and peaceful life could be and being able to just get used to that feeling versus chaos and constant stress. So these positive emotions, optimism, self-efficiency, and hardiness can help buffer against stress and help build resilience. We come to believe that we're capable and we can do this. And this takes time, but the more that we see we're capable of something, the more positive we feel, and thus we start building on that new mindset. And that's the idea behind the broaden and build model created by Barbara Fredrickson. The strength-based approach is strongly influenced by Chris Peterson and his work on the classification of virtues and strengths. Seligman said character refers to qualities within individuals that lead them to desire and pursue the good. So some of these qualities might be wisdom, creativity, curiosity, love of learning, open-mindedness, courage. My 5 top strengths were honesty, love, spirituality, love of learning, and gratitude. And I reflected on these, and that really helped me to accept myself and appreciate my strengths, and it helped me just feel more pride for who I am. Mindfulness is, as Kabat-Zinn described it, paying attention in a particular way on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally. So I practiced mindfulness a lot and just sat and felt my present feelings and accepted them for what they are, non-judgmentally. And I did a lot of breathing exercises and relaxation and listening to calming music and really just focused on how I feel right now. And then the benefits to mindfulness is your brain releases happy chemicals, stress and inflammation goes down, your blood pressure drops, and as a result, your digestion can run more smoothly. Mindfulness really helped me a lot, and I really liked learning about it. So in conclusion, in this presentation, we looked at what positive psychology is and how different aspects of it helped me on my journey of recovering from domestic abuse. I try to focus on the positive more than the negative. I used mindfulness and knowledge of my own strengths and virtues to build back up my self-esteem and reflect on how strong and resilient I am. As a result of these methods, I have learned I feel more content, I feel a lot more peace, more happiness, I'm optimistic and capable each day. I hope this presentation has demonstrated that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and I hope that my story can help others on their journey. All of us are strong, and we all deserve love and happiness in life.